guys, welcome to today's talk. Thank you very much for attention. Let me introduce myself. My name is Melania Rizkia Giriani. You can call me Rizky. I'm from Sanata Dharma University, and today I'm going to talk you about how do you become a good educator. I'm here today to talk to you about become a good educator. Suggest teacher should bring with them into the classroom. What she told us turned the idea of student-centeredness on its ear and suggest our school and system will do well to start noticing the fact teachers are people too. Understand 5 key awareness educators can bring into their party as they think through what is happening in their classroom. And so we're hoping you could help us think through what are some practical ways that teachers can be aware of student needs as they're going through a class period or going through a school year. What are some teachers that you found as being successful? So this is, I think, is super tricky question, because the best thing that teachers can actually do to be aware of learn needs is to be aware of who they are. And so I know that sound a little bit odd, because I think as teacher we are used practicing a student center. The more aware you are of yourself as the teacher, the better you can actually set up a support system for the children in your classroom. When we think of self as the teacher, and so this is specific to you being a teacher, right? There are actually 3 self that we have recognized in our data that have emerged over the years, and that's that a teacher has a private self, and this what is just private to you. Maybe no one other than you know. That will include your own needs. That can be income needs, emotional needs, physical needs. It would include your identity, that could be your race, ethnicity, culture, or gender. And it also includes your value and your experience, which might be why you go into teaching. And that's the recognition that you're on display as a teacher, and that you can both be authentic, have a different self that's on display, then who you are privately, and then really specific to teaching and kind of unique about teaching is the phrase of itself, and that makes a lot of sense, because the teacher is only a teacher because they have student right. So the previous self is the awareness that you are perceived by your student, by their family, by your college, your director, and so on. And having an awareness that those their skills are always a part of you, and that's who actually interacting with the student, is what I mean by having a sense of self. The destination here is that a teacher is not taught how to see themselves that way. A teacher is taught typically from the destination here is that a teacher is not taught how to do themselves. That's why a teacher is taught typically from so we're never teaching who to the student is. We're always teaching who we believe the student is, and that's based on we are. The way in which we see student is based on who we are. And if we're never taught to further explore that and pull it apart in way that is not negative and it's not blaming, then we're still kind of missing the mark on how to support teacher in their development. The one that's most obvious, right? As awareness of learner, then there is awareness of your teaching process that would include anything in your practice planning, implementing reflection, as well as your classroom culture. Everything thus goes in the awareness of interaction. Meaning, are you aware that you are interacting with students and that there are various types of interaction? Some of them come from love and bonding with your student. Others are about recognizing you have a mutual effect on one another. Then there's awareness of context, that anything outside of your four walls of the classroom. So that could be things that are external and about the student, like their family. Jadi, so student and teacher like their family. Things that are external and about the institution that you're in. That could to be philosophy of the school, the community that you work with him, and then things that are external that are built, kinds of large-scale things like the government current events happening around the world. And the last one is awareness of self. Loving they there matter and they super integral to the relationship between them and a student. And that the more they are open to understanding who they are and recognizing that actually student, that model of putting student at the center is not helpful to student because it does ignore the teacher, and that the teacher is that part of relationship, and then the teacher and the teacher is that part of the relationship, and the relationship is what matters, is that I will say to them, start truly investing and believing me that you matter a great deal on uncovering and understanding that better is what's going to help need an education. I should say help the world. Help is what's going to support and foster that transition that we need an education to keep up, put teaching and learning as the most important thing. And should you have the world help is what's going to support and foster the transition that we need, and education to kind of teaching and learning is the most important thing. All I wanted to say about a teacher. Thank you for all your attention. Thank you for listening to my explanation. See you on the next topic of conversation. Bye bye.